What's up, ladies? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 signs that will let you know if a guy's losing interest, okay? Because it's something that doesn't just happen overnight, or maybe, but it shows itself over a period of days, weeks, and maybe months, and maybe even years, all right? Never centuries. I never heard of that one. Took him 2 centuries to show me that he lost attraction in me. But the most important sign is the 5th one. And that's why I left it for the last one, because that one is the true indication, the true indicator that if you see this sign and you couple it with the signs that I'm about to give you, it will show you if he's attracted or not. And I'm gonna give you guys a little clever solution that I learned from Seinfeld on how to deal with a guy who's losing interest. This will make or break the relationship, but you guys are gonna love it, because I love it too, because I use it for men as well. Okay, so let's get started. The first sign that a guy is losing interest in you, and from my experience, because I'm a guy and I lost interest in a while, and that happens often, is he's less expressive around you. What I mean by less expressive is that, just remember, everything that I'm about to talk to you is one, in accumulation, is not just one sign, and 2, is relative to your situation. So if he's a guy that expressed himself, he was very expressive to you in the past, but suddenly he's not telling you how much he loves you. Suddenly he doesn't send you text messages that how much he misses you. Suddenly when you talk in the phone, he's giving you one-word answers, and he seems as though he wants to change the subject or finish talking to you. That's a sign that he's losing interest. Remember, our actions are motivated by our emotions, all right? And so when he's less expressive, it means that his emotions, the emotion that was once there, is not there anymore. Remember, from the abundance of the heart speaks the mouth, said Jesus. Jesus is my Christian, but Jesus is my homie. So what he meant by that is, what you say, your expression is a reflection of your heart. So if you notice that the way he speaks to you, the intensity, there's not that much passion anymore. If it changed, it means that its source has changed. Maybe it doesn't mean he's not attracted to you anymore, but that's a possibility though. You know, it's a possibility. Because when you like someone, you want to talk to them. You see what I'm saying? So that's the one, he's less expressive. The other one is this, and this relates more to me because this is how I am. I'm a very physical person. I'm a very touchy person. If you go to my channel, you know what I'm talking about. This is what I talk about often. He's less physical, the second sign. The reason why it's important to realize that when a guy's losing interest, he's less physical. Remember how it was in the beginning. You first have your beginning, your honeymoon period where you guys are having sex, okay? But let's say you're in the honeymoon period, or that you're past that period and you just are normal. You use that normalcy, the honeymoon period, if you guys are in it, or the normalcy as a measure. So if you notice that he's less physical, you gotta watch out, okay? Because if he's less physical with you, that means he's getting off somewhere else. Not all the time, but if he's not talking to you as much, less expressive, doesn't want to talk on the phone as much, and he's less physical, oh, you better watch out. I remember when the last girl that I was seeing a couple years ago, it was a long distance relationship. She was a very nice girl, but I'm not the type of person I can't stand being around someone for too long, especially if you come visit me, if you stay with me 90% of the time, I can't stand that. But the problem was that because she was visiting me, she's visiting, so you kind of like, I don't want to make an argument because she's hardly here, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, you know what? I'm happy that she's here, so let me enjoy her time, even though part of me wanted to be left alone for a while. But anyways, in the beginning, I couldn't fucking stop touching her. Like when we would go up the stairs, I would fucking touch her leg, just because I couldn't resist it. Like I was infatuated by her body, and who she was. I was like, oh my God. But then, after a while, I started I was like, damn, I need some space. Oh my God, I need some space, but she's about to leave in 2 days, so I don't want to tell her that. So I held it in, but I wasn't touching her anymore. She noticed. She was like, she's not touching me when he's going up the stairs. He can't let go. He's not trying to have sex with me in the dressing room. He's not trying to have sex with me in the bush anymore. What's going on? You see? And I was like, oh, I'm just not interested right now. But it was because I lost interest. And for most guys, when a guy loses interest, he's not as physical. He doesn't touch you as much. He's not sitting as close to you as much. He's keeping his physical distance. When a girl's not interested in you, for example, what I teach guys, when a girl's not interested in you, girls keep their distance. But when a girl's interested in you, they want to get close to you. It's the same thing with guys. You see what I'm saying? So notice, does he hold hands with you when you guys walk? Is rather than holding hands, is he putting her, are you guys touching arm to arm rather than holding hands? Does he hug you as much? How much does he hug you? How intense is the hug? You know? Is he trying to be frisky with you? Is he trying to fuck you everywhere? Okay? If he's not doing that, relative to how it was in the past, it's maybe a sign that he's losing interest. So the third one, if he's less physical, less expressive, and spending less time with you, which is the third one, he spends less time with you, you watch out. You better start watching some Dr. Phil. You see? Time is the most valuable asset we have. Time is the international currency. Time. All right. So if you notice that he's spending less time with you on the phone, not texting you as much, spending time with his friends more than you, spending time on the phone more than you, spending time on the video games more than you, spending time on Facebook more than you, and even says no to hanging out with you, and he's always bringing up excuses, that means he doesn't like you. Let me tell you something. When a guy likes you, he's not busy. Okay, he's not busy. The same thing with girls. When a girl likes you, she's not busy. But when she doesn't like you, she's busier than a fucking ambassador. She's busy. Like, I swear to God, before talking to girls, before getting good at talking to girls, I used to think that girls were fucking productive people. It looked like they were trying to save the free world, looking how busy they were. But I noticed is that if a girl doesn't like you, she's always busy. If a girl doesn't like you, she's always has a boyfriend. When a guy is losing interest, he's always busy. When a guy doesn't like you, he's always busy. It's that simple. And it's hard to see that because our emotions, we're seeing things through a squinted view, through a fog of emotions. Like, we don't see the reality that he's losing interest. But to us, we try to justify, oh, he's just busy. But deep down, there's a fear that he's losing interest. And that's why you're here. You see, deep down there's a fear. So that's one thing, he spends less time with you, and spending more time with friends and whatnot. The other more subtle is, there's no rhythm in the interaction. You know what I'm talking about by the rhythm? There's no chemistry. That rhythm, that was effortless. When you guys talked, it was effortless. You see, when you guys spend time together, it was effortless. Now you're noticing he's looking at his clock. Now you're noticing he has something to do after meeting you. Now you're noticing that, you're starting to notice that there's more rigidness. There's no like loosey-goosiness. There's just more tense. He easily snaps, finds arguments for no reason. There's no rhythm, and that rhythm is not there because it takes two to tango. Someone's not doing the tango. Someone's not interested anymore. You're gonna notice that the rhythm of the relationship loses itself. There's no rhythm. There's more, and it's done. By rhythm, I'm talking about the chemistry, the vibe. You feel that vibe. I mean, you feel that fucking vibe. And that's the fifth one. This one is the most important one. And it's the one thing that everyone has that has never failed them. Even when you take tests, is your gut feeling. 70% of the time, when we're taking a test and we change the answer, when we don't know the answer, 70% of the time we get it wrong. Because 70% of the time, the gut feeling is right. All right? So, and that's not scientific, but you know. So, you know when you're talking to the guy and you feel like you have to put more effort in because the conversation is not as it used to be. You don't feel that happy vibe. You don't feel like that desire to get to know each other. Not because of you, but because you don't feel that from him. You feel like you want to get to know him. You long to have that conversation you guys used to have. You long to have those moments that you guys used to spend. You don't have those anymore. You're putting in the effort and he's not putting in the effort. So that need to like, damn, I need to come up with something interesting to say. I need to maybe look cuter. I need to maybe get his attention. I need to find ways to have a better conversation. That extra effort is there because you feel that something that he's not giving, that you're losing something. That feeling of I need to do more because I feel like I'm losing something because I'm afraid of losing him says that you may be losing him. You know, this is not something that Maury could fix. It's not something that Dr. Phil could fix. It's not something that no one could fix but yourself. So if you notice yourself putting in a lot of effort, and then you notice him he's less expressive, not sending you the text messages, his text messages aren't as long, conversations aren't as long. He's giving you excuses not to hang out with you. He's less physical, doesn't spend time together, and there's no rhythm in the interaction. And then you feel that something's wrong, like you feel like you need to put more effort into the relationship just to keep it going. that means that you're not seeing the truth. That means that the facts are there in front of you. You just don't want to face them. And mind you, there's nothing wrong with that because we're human. But what do you do about that? How do you fix that? I have a simple solution for you. You ever heard of Seinfeld? You ever heard of the preemptive breakup? You never heard of the preemptive breakup? Let me give you a quick example of what it is. A preemptive breakup is that George was feeling that he was losing a relationship. Okay, he felt that she didn't want to see him anymore. So Kramer in the show, giving you a quick explanation of what happened. Kramer says, "How about if you break up with her first? You know, her ego will get hurt, and you could either lose her, but lose her dignity, or she's gonna realize what she lost and want you again, and the feeling's gonna be intensified. What's gonna happen is that the guy's gonna come back to you. So if he likes you, the guy's gonna say, "What? You breaking up? What was wrong? I didn't know there was something wrong in the relationship. Well, sorry, girl. We're done. Why? I cannot believe that. I gave you a good try. It wasn't meant to be." And so what's gonna happen is that a guy, because of his ego, a guy loses perspective of how attractive you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, they lose perspective of what they love in you. So by feeling as though they're losing you, they're gonna start seeing what they loved once in you, and maybe that rekindle the love for you. But there's a fallacy in that, because any love that comes from that perspective, is egoic in nature. What I mean by egoic in nature is based on gratification of who you are, trying to find a sense of self in the outcome, which is to say, a guy only liking you just to have sex with you so that he could feel proud of himself of being a man. A girl only wanted to be with a guy just to get the attention, and once she gets the attention, she loses attraction. That's what I mean, is that you're gonna get him back, but chances are you may get him back temporarily. Chances are he's gonna feel that attraction only because he felt like he lost you. So you couldn't win temporarily, but I don't know how that's gonna span out. So you gotta keep looking for those signs. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes it's better to take a long break, because if you feel that, there's a good inevitable chance that the relationship is over, or there's a good chance that the guy's not gonna see you again. So you have to be the first one to end it, so that you give him the chance to come back to you, or he never comes back, and you just save yourself the trouble of dealing with that stress, because your life is important. You don't need to deal with that shit. You see, and it's time to let him go. Let him go. All right. Let him go and subscribe. Let him know that you're getting over him by subscribing to this channel. No, really, don't do that. I'm not kidding around. You think I'm kidding? But anyway, this is Alex from Mind for Attraction 2.0. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.